Yeah, there's a song by Lagbaja.
Mm-hmm.
It was like uncle is like I know be your uncle, you know. Oh my god, what's that song? I forgot.
Yeah,
It
like what
says
I got
I
said.
might be 30 something, I might be 40 something. In my mind, I'm 20 something.
Something right.
So basically, it's all in your mind.
Mind.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Lost Lagosians, a podcast covering topics about Lagosians, Nigerians, and Africans in diaspora, as well as trending topics and challenges of Africans living outside Africa. I'm your host, Brother Mike. I have a special guest with me here today in the studio, and I'm so happy and thrilled that he's able to join us for the ongoing conversation from last week's episode. Hi, Shope. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, bro, Mike?
Very good. Thank you so much for being here again today. Last week we had a blast.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was kind of hilarious. If you've not listened to last week's episode, it's not a requirement to listen to last week's episode, but it will help if you can listen to it just to kind of get the context of where we're
So
coming
let you
from.
know where we're going.
Yeah. So, but moving on with the conversation from last week, we're talking about time and how time may be an illusion, especially as we turn into a new year. And there's a lot of hype about the new year. People have New Year's resolution. People hitting the gym and
Yeah.
kind of doing all kind of
Hopefully, the end of COVID-19.
yeah, off of the end of COVID-19. Then there's the Omicron thing going around now, which
Omicron is not my homie.
is it's almost shutting down the whole global economy all over again. But however, going back to what we were talking about last week and an ongoing conversation is about time, how time being an illusion. What do you make of New Year's resolution? I mean, do you think there's anything like okay, New Year's resolution or people making New Year's resolution, are they fooling themselves?
Yeah, New Year resolution sometimes doesn't fool itself. It's a commitment that you have to keep.
I know, but could you have made that commitment in December?
You couldn't make it at any time. But the situation that you decided to wait till the next year to keep that
Which
commitment.
next year is an illusion, by the way.
Right. So you did that. Now, can you keep the commitment? So everything in life that we do, can you keep it? Just like your word is your bond.
Yeah.
Whatever you say to one man, you're supposed to keep that. You're supposed to commit to it. Okay? Now,
Follow through.
yeah, you're supposed to follow through.
Yeah.
But life is changing, so people don't commit to nothing no more. Because people are like, okay, I'm dealing with this and this happens, so I'm just going to move on to this. And I don't care. I'm so tired now. It's all about me.
There's a theory about kind of like it's called the fourth dimension, whereby there's like three dimension, which is time and space. But then there's a fourth dimension, which assumes that everything in life is somewhat fixed. So think of it like a DVD player, whereby you put the DVD in, and it's kind of also known as a block of time concept. So you have over somebody who lives 70 years, you have many, many, many blocks, say 70 blocks, and block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4 up to block 70 is all fixed. And it's all set in time, and it's kind of like fixed, like a DVD player.
Right.
But the person who is this guy who dies at age 70 lives through this time 1 year at a time, and his consciousness and his memory makes him believe that he's actually controlling things. It makes him believe that he's actually going through time. Whereas in reality, if you remove that change that he's going through over the 70 years, you can also see the whole 70 years as a fixed period of time. So some people actually believe that, again, time is an illusion. And because time is an illusion, everything is kind of fixed, but we are living through life because we can only play as you hit the play button on the DVD player. You can't really fast forward and you can't really go into rewind. The other concept is also the idea of memory. How memory and consciousness help us to visualize time. Because you have the memory of what happened last week, last year, you have a feeling that, oh my God, time is going. But in reality, it's not like time is really going because, again, the fixed theory is like everything is fixed. But because of memory, you kind of think of time when. For example, when you go to sleep, you sleep for 8 hours. For that 8 hours, it's like nothing happened, but time actually went.
Right.
But in your mind or your brain tells you you slept, and it's like when you lose consciousness, you wake up, or you had your watch charging, your iWatch was charging, and your iWatch is still there. You remember that. But the moment you slept, if your wife or your boyfriend had come in and moved your watch and went out with it and came back 5 hours later and put it back, you won't even know. Let's say it's fully charged by the time you wake up. So there's that theory of time whereby time is kind of time is a little bit what is it called? It's kind of illusion. Now another example they've given in science is basically if you have two identical twins, you have one of them on Earth, then you have another twin. You send that twin to space. When you send the twin to space and they are traveling on a rocket, 50,000 miles a second, whatever.
Right.
Let's say they travel for 10 years and they come back, the one on Earth will look much older than the one that went to space.
Right, because of the atmosphere.
The change in atmosphere and also the time.
Gravity.
The gravity, you know, then
Right.
there's the
There's
concept
no
of the
way-
black hole.
Yeah, there's no way, nothing wailing you down. because
Exactly.
Down here on Earth, you got all this gravity weigh you down. Your bone structures all like compressed. When you go out of
And then you have the sunlight.
right?
Yeah.
When you go out of space, all that stretches. It's like your body just float around, your bones move around. When you speak on when we speak about time something interesting. I don't know who created it, the man that created it, whatever, because it's been going on for years. Our forefathers started doing that. They start trying to want to understand how the earth rotates on the moon, the suns, whatever they just trying to do. They follow the stars to make a map. They go with GPS back in the days. So the man made GPS and they created these and put that into technology now that we are dealing with right now. But when you look at time, every segment and everything also have a black hole
In between.
it. So something we do skip in the black hole or something you fed through and you fed through, that is it. Because the black hole, it's not coming back from black. Nobody knows what's in the black hole. So we just know it's the black hole. It's something that is added that existed, but if you go through it, you're not coming back out of it. There's no
re-entry.
there's no re-entry from it. And that's a scary factor in life. Just like our life that we are living here on this earth, the way we breed, we were given birth to, we came out of our mother's womb.
Yeah.
We see the lights, then we're breathing, we're living life, we're enjoying it. Then when you died, what happened? Lights out. It's like a black hole. You just went through a black hole. You're not coming back. You're not coming back from that.
Yeah, but with the concept of time being an illusion, I get what you're saying about the death and black hole. And at the end of that 70 year, back to my example, if you look at that 70 years, there are two philosophies around it. One of them is that in one philosophy, things are happening. Oh my God, I'm moving to Seattle. So I'm in Seattle. Oh my God, I got a job. There's life events happening. There are things happening. Oh my God, I just got married. Oh, look at my baby, so pretty. Oh my God, I lost my dad, whatever. So things are happening. So that's one phenomenon. The second phenomenon, nothing is happening.
Nothing.
Think about it. Nothing is happening means everything is, because that's the shelf I'm talking, the segment. Everything is fixed. Nothing can happen because there's no time. Does that make sense? There's no time.
There's no time.
Fixed. So nothing really changes because we know that year 20 is going to go to college, year 25.
Right.
So there's nothing really happening.
Nothing happened because there's no action.
There's no action because it's already like a dignity that is fixed. And change is that illusion that makes you feel like you're going through time because you're conscious, because you're moving. You're like, oh my God, that's the first ideology. Basically, you're moving through time. But the other one is kind of like stand above and looks and says, okay, it's a fixed, it's like ice block. So it's kind of like every moment by moment, it's like this. Back in the day when they started the movie industry with the theater, what they did was they put pictures. The movie industry is actually a motion picture. That's what they call it, because I think 24 frames in a second.
Okay.
So every second when you watch a movie, you have 24 pictures.
Pictures, right.
Yeah. So in that 24 frames in a second, I think that's what it is. So 24 frames in a second, then in 10 seconds, there are 240 frames. So there are 240 little pictures.
Pictures,
so the concept of time and time in an illusion is just saying every action we go through in that philosophy where nothing is happening or change is not happening, you are just going through frame by frame. So if
Right.
you look at one frame, you are still, it's a still picture. So time really could be thought of as an illusion.
Right. So when we're talking about time, also we're talking about when I have a conversation earlier with you, and you talk about how the body breaks down. How do we get old? Do you want to speak on that?
Oh
With
yeah,
the
oh yeah,
cancers?
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So the body gets old. Oh God, you're putting me on the spot here. I
No,
don't
it's-
remember, but the body, after every period of time, it replenishes itself. All the
Self.
cells,
Right.
You know, the human cells, even your hair follicles, your fingernails. As somebody gets older, even for kids, the body kind of refreshes itself. So the you in 2021, say July 2021, is not the same you in
Yes.
January 7, 2022.
Right.
So if you were to take, if it's possible to ever have the two of you side by side, the body and the anatomy are not exactly the same. However, the spirit and the soul are the same.
It's the same.
So
The spirit never changes.
the spirit never changes.
So the spirit never it grows in knowledge, but doesn't really grow like the way the body is growing.
Does the spirit grow in knowledge though?
Yes, it does. Grows in knowledge because you're experiencing
I know,
things.
but that's the brain.
Yeah, that's the brain. It grows
That's
in
the
knowledge.
memory. The spirit that's still the body.
That's still the
It's
body.
Very complicated.
It's very complicated. But the spirit is the way we think, the way we react to things. The spirit is what we see. Because when you get older, society say at this age you're supposed to be drinking alcohol. At this age you're supposed to be dating. At this age you're supposed to be doing that,
You're
doing
married,
this and doing that.
yeah.
So society already created you to be a man. Why at a certain age, remember in Africa, at a certain age, they start making us men at a very young age before things starts changing. You are already out of your daddy house at the age of how was that? At a man, you're supposed to be like in your teens and you're already a man. But society already
Especially
created
if
us a
your daddy's
time.
not around,
Right.
that's
Society already created a time. Like when we look at time like this, like society here in America, they created you to be a man at the age of 18. And for a long time that plays good. But now you see that at this age now, kids are being trying to be men at the age of 18 and women at the age of 18, and they're not right now. Some kids in this generation, they don't have that mentality or structure or being of that maturity yet.
Their brains are not developed.
Yeah, because of the technology that's bestowed on them. Because when we are growing up, we have that knowledge. We go out and we do things physically. Now, with time changes and technology is involved, maturity doesn't grow faster enough
to catch up.
Because
a kid of 7 is
a
already
kid,
using an iPad.
right? He's using an
All he
iPad.
knows is watching YouTube.
To-
He's learning. His mind is
It's learning,
growing.
but the mind is growing in that aspect of it, but in the physically of doing it, it's not matured.
Right.
Okay, it's like a kid can grow up and know how to handle the computers and everything. But when we are growing up without not a lot of technology and everything, and our fathers before us and our fathers before us, they grow up really fast because they always out there in the field. You got to go out there and do things and work your own physically, doing things to make changes. But with time, things have changed. Okay, I don't know why this topic is taking us this way, but things have changed. It's like the kids in mentally they might seem matured. They act mature. They're at that age.
Yeah.
But physically, their mind is not there. That's why you see more kids just lay back. And we say they're lazy. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. It's just that aspect of life, the way we grew up, they're not growing up that way. They're not out there in the field doing everything. They're in that age rate, but they're not doing exactly
not
what
doing the action.
The action of it.
Yeah, but as far as time being an illusion and that conversation goes, I think what you're trying to say is like a kid who is 10 and a kid who is 25
Right.
changes. Because a kid when he's 10 might know some things but not really doing it. When he's 25, he knows that he's doing it.
Right.
So you're saying that change happens between the same kid at
Kids.
different ages.
Right.
There's
So
change that has
basically,
transpired,
your body, your physical grow older, but your mind stay young and fresh.
Your mind may not. It depends. You have
No,
to
your
feed
mind. You have to feed your mind that, but
If
your
you don't
body.
feed your mind. I mean,
Right, your
will
body,
go
your body can stretch. Your body can expand. You
Yeah.
can make your body do things with your mind.
taller.
But the mind stays where you always been. The mind learns every day. The mind
Right.
gets some understanding. The mind
Wisdom.
move around wisdom and everything because of what it sees and what you does.
Yeah. What you
It,
do, yeah.
Right. So the mind is you. The physical is what you got to get
So the
to
mind-
connect with
so
the mind.
mind is like the soul. Kind
Yes, the soul.
Of. Okay. So that's you.
But does that dies when we
Does
die?
the soul die when we die? Well, that's
That's
that's an interesting question. Does the soul die when we die? The soul, theoretically, even though I'm not an expert on this matter, the soul lives forever.
ever.
And if you look at what we were talking about earlier with time being an illusion,
Right.
like with sleep, when people sleep after a long day of work, and then they wake up the next day, then at night they go to bed, they wake up, like typical work hard and sleeping. When those people work hard and sleep, a lot of times their consciousness is not there anymore. Their consciousness is not there because they are taking a nap or relaxation, so they can have dreams and revelations and visions. But when they wake up, time might have elapsed, but they don't really know.
Know it.
Other than looking at the clock and say, "Oh my God, these days there are apps that'll tell you when you go to sleep and wake up on your iWatch or your
Right.
phone or your Google phone or whatever." But you don't even know when you sleep. You can never see exactly, oh, I'm going to sleep at 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. You don't know that.
Yeah, you sometimes people that's trying to fight sleep and you end up passing out.
Exactly, because that's nature. So, but that's what takes over. And then when you wake up, so time, it feels like time is stopped or time is awake, but you are dreaming. So the fact that you're able to dream kind of supports the argument that even when people finally die, their soul continues to live. There's a concept of sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is where people sleep, but then they wake up, but their body still sleep. So some of them will say, oh, they are demons or they're Banji or somebody, that woman is a witch.
Yeah.
But that's the idea whereby your spirit is kind of awake, but your body is still
not
asleep.
Yeah.
Or maybe, like you drunk or you drunk too much. People actually have sleeping, whereby they are sleepwalking, I'm sorry.
Right.
They're sleeping. So there are different interesting things like that. But the whole concept being that the soul has the ability to live outside of the body.
Outside the body.
Those are experiences. And some people actually have out-of-body experiences. It's actually a real thing. Many people have out-of-body experiences. But this all goes back to our concept of time being an illusion. Where time stops during all that stuff. Yeah.
If times do really stops during that
But
time.
time doesn't stop physically for those that are
Physically.
awake.
Physically.
But you that you're
spiritually, times doesn't exist. Spiritually.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that goes back to your earlier.
yeah, so basically you don't really need time. But our physical get young and get older and dies. So if the
body does.
so the soul, if the soul never dies, where the soul goes to when the physical dies?
Nobody knows, but you have to align with a religious belief.
Believes.
So that religious belief is your knowledge.
We create a religious belief because if all of us do die, we created this storyline that we're living through.
I don't know.
That keep us because religious is basically our law and order. Because religious is the one that's keeping us together. They make sure, hey, you can't go steal your brother. That's a sin. You can't go kill your brother.
Law,
That's
and commandments.
the commandment. The 10 Commandments is a law, and that's where we all live. No matter who you are, you can be a Muslim. You can be a Buddha, everything, and you can be a pagan, but you still live among that principle of that 10 Commandments. That 10 right. And that 10 Commandments, you still live that same principle in life. Well, when you look at the 10 Commandments, it's so amazing the way it's set. I know it's so amazing the way it's set because that's how we live. Of every culture you go to, no matter what they have, they live by that. That you can't do this, you can't do that. You can't go stick another man's stuff and think it's okay. it is the Ten Commandments says it all. You respect your parents, respect your mom, respect your
Yeah,
dad.
and
It is. So the Bible just generated from that, and everything else just fall into that. So someone created that.
I mean, I
And the law that we live to in America, they can establish it. America can.
I
They,
think you have to pick a religious affiliation. Go ahead. I'm
right?
sorry. I
Yeah.
interrupted
Then
you.
they can elaborate it in so many ways. You can elaborate the laws. You can someone like you or anybody else can make 10 laws out of the 10 commandments. You can make millions of laws out of the 10 commandments. But the 10 commandments is so basic in the whole wide world. You can even take it out of space and it might be the same.
Yeah.
Because it's a mutual understanding that okay, you're taking advantage of me if you do that.
And the golden rule.
Right, it's the golden rule.
Yeah. Do unto others as you want.
Want
unto
to
yourself.
yourself, right? So that's what the Ten Commandments stand for. But when it comes to time, and we're talking about death, Buddhism, they think about reincarnation.
Reincarnation. Yeah.
Is that possible? Is that true? And there's other folks that thinks that you go in the vision of your own seed. Let me say if you have families or whatever, you start living through them. So like if my mom, whatever they passed, they can live through me. Is that possible? I just seen it like they never lost, they never gone. But I'm the one still have the mentality and spiritual, but they just see things through me. It's like they never really. But it doesn't make no sense to me that part
Well,
of
it
it.
doesn't make sense. Ultimately, you have to find a religion that
It
makes
makes
sense.
sense, right?
Because
So
nobody
nobody knows.
You just have to find your religion that makes sense to you, and you put your faith
Faith
in that
into
religion.
it, right?
Now, going back to our forefathers in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
you know, again in Nigeria, back in Lagos, you know, like we have the Ifa, the Oduduwa, we have all these religions,
Right.
and then the white man came and they brought all these religions
Just to us.
Even Christianity is a religion, the Catholicism, so all these religions came.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you look at it, it's all they believe in some deity.
They
You know, I remember, you know, growing up in Nigeria, you know, we had a lot of Muslim friends. I'm a Christian, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, Allah, God, you know, it's all the same God.
God.
Really, ultimately. It's just a deity to put your mind on that this power outside of me is bigger than me.
right.
And this power can, you know, help me have a better life and be better to my neighbor.
Right.
Although some religious sectors today say, well, the God of the Muslims is different from the God of, you know, of the Christians, is different from the God of the Catholic. So there's all these divisions. That's
a
man-made
division.
part.
That's a man-made.
The man-made part you're talking
but
about.
God is not different. God is in you.
God is universal.
So
yeah.
there's some people that believe that God is in you, that
Some
you
people
are
believe
God
you are
yourself.
God, yeah.
You
I
are
know,
God
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
But I think it is true.
Well, the Bible says, yeah, gods, but that God in the Bible is like a small G. So that means you have the characteristic of God because God breathed in you.
Breathe you, right?
You know, it's the
He
breath
gave
of
you that God.
He gave you the breath, you know.
So and there's some says that we're just a fallen angels. There's a lot of ways we can go through this. Like we're just a fallen angels. Then when you die, then you gain your wings and you fly again.
Yeah, I mean, again,
But
I keep saying the same
angels
thing.
are little gods themselves. They're not God
I keep
themselves, but they
saying the
God
same thing.
themselves.
I agree with that. I keep saying the same thing, which
Right.
is pick a religion
Pick a religion and
and
go.
live or die by. You know, nobody even knows which religion, fundamentally speaking.
Right.
And the problem, one of the problems we have in Africa today is, unfortunately, I hate to say it, the different religious beliefs that we have.
Right.
There are people killing each other. You know, look at
Because of religious.
Nigeria, Libya, Sudan. You know, there's the Shiites and the Sunni. There's all kind of even in the Baptists, there's like different kind of Baptists. So at the end of the day, why can't we just love each other? Why can't we just get along? I see a brother like mine. He look like me. Why can't I just love him?
It's just killing each other for religion purpose doesn't make no sense because
I know, but people are doing it.
Well, you
Millions have died for that.
killed for a reason that doesn't really make no sense in the eyes of the God that you serve in yourself. Because when you die, even though you get reincarnated, whatever, you're not going to come back to the same family that put you through that religion.
I know, but
Because with that family that gave birth to you, that gave you that religion, you wouldn't know nothing about that religion. For you to go kill for that religion.
I know, but
Someone taught you that religion.
Yeah.
Someone give you that mindset of that religion.
I agree with
so
you.
why would you think it's okay?
But look at the suicide bombers like in Afghanistan, Iraq. all
It
those
says
places.
racism. It's like those people that ate because of your color of your skin. What you make you think if you're gonna get reincarnated, whatever? What make you think that that same white man and that white woman gonna give back to you in that same color of skin? You're not gonna might never have that skin no more. You come up something different.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you, like I was saying earlier with the suicide bombers, right? And they believe they'll get 70 virgins or 100 virgins or so,
Yeah.
or whatever that is.
That's just a
Those people do
story.
that because of religious beliefs too.
Right.
And they
Yeah,
believe when they get to heaven, they will have these virgins waiting for them. So as we enter the new year, and as people begin to think about, time, the time of their life, one of the thing I was doing research into was about the fact that when you are younger, time feels longer.
Good.
But as you get older, time feels shorter.
Sure.
And the reason for that is because when you are younger, so let's say you live 10 years, right? And then you move from 10 years to 11. Year 11 feels so long when you are 10 because that's like 10% of your year, right?
The reason why it feels so longer
So,
because
yeah.
when you are a child, you're limited. Like you got someone
Opportunities. And
yeah, opportunities. You can't do nothing, and there's things that you want to do. You just like, and you can't wait to grow up to be able to do this, to explore and do this, to be able to get out your mom's house, no one telling you what to do. You just got banded by that rules. Okay, you're a child, you need to be in a child place.
Yeah.
But then when you grow and you start exploring other stuff, and you kind of figure out that okay, I want to do this, I can do it, but then you got laws that say you cannot do this. So this then become frustrations, anger, everything, your own mistakes and everything, and the environment you're born in. Like most of us that are born in an environment, especially if you're born in a juggler in poverty, there's some things that you want to achieve that you say it's very hard for you to get it. There's some people that says, okay, because you this, because of that, I'm not gonna help you out get there. You're not gonna get there. I'm gonna make sure you stay where you at. Everything plays into your life and make you feel drained out and make you feel stressed. And frustrated, yes.
What I also think also is with the time, if you are 10 years old and then you go to 11 years, that's 1 year. That one is like 10% of your 10 years.
Right.
But if you are 60 and then, you 1 year,
It moves
it's
fast.
it's going to move very because it's smaller percentage. So there's a theory that believes the older you get, the more years you accumulate, and then it's kind of feeling shorter.
Shorter.
Yeah,
You're
so-
getting faster and things move faster.
And
Just
things
like
move
we're
faster,
saying,
yeah.
2021 is fast.
Just very fast.
For us,
I guess we're
right?
old.
2020, yeah, because we go. But the kids, they didn't see it like that.
Yeah.
They see
Especially
like
with Corona
right. They
and
see.
all
They
that
didn't see
stuff
it like
going on,
they
yeah.
didn't see it as fast like we are seeing it.
Yeah.
They didn't
Remote
see it,
learning
right.
from home, things just feel a little longer.
Right, because things to them, what happened was what the kids are experiencing to them is okay, but to us is abnormal.
Yeah.
Because this is not how life used to be.
weird,
But the
yeah.
kids understand it. To them, it's like okay, this is what's going on. I'm just gonna adjust to it.
Brains are not fully
And
developed.
they embrace it,
Process.
and they embrace it real quick, and they embrace it and just go with it. But we live in a lifestyle. We grew up in a lifestyle that's far away different from it. That's what time comes into it, because we're not used to being in lockdown in the house, can't go nowhere. Now we gotta wear a mask in our face. But the kids can adapt to it real quick and real fast and go. But we're like this is not normal. We cannot do that.
Yeah, this is weird. Yeah.
So things with kids that they just like okay, and it takes longer. But it's just like time is getting shorter. It's like okay, I don't like this time. Let's move on to the next year. We're already looking about 2023. We want this COVID-19 to be over, so we move in time faster than what time is moving. While the kids is just like they don't care,
Whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying to accelerate 2022.
Right. Yeah. If I think of myself being 10 years old at this time right now, I am 10 years old.
That's right.
I can play a 10-year-old kid
right.
because that's what your mind think.
Yeah.
You
This
feed
is-
your mind what you want it to think, and that's what time gonna be. I'm a 10 years old kid, and not be a 10-year-old kid again. I live young longer than you are.
Yeah, there's a song by Lagbaja. It was like uncle is like I know be your uncle, Oh my God, what's that song? I forgot.
Yeah,
It
Lagbaja
says
got
I
sick.
might be 30 something, I might be 40 something. In my mind, I'm 20 something.
Right.
So basically, it's all in your mind.
Mind.
This girl is calling my uncle because I know that's like no. In my own mind,
Right.
I'm 20 something.
Right.
So I think ultimately, it's whatever you want to, and goes back to our conversation earlier about the soul. Your soul is really what matters, and how young you are is within. Because when you were 20, then you're 30, you're 40, you're like, you don't really know what the difference is.
Well, let's keep this going. What I was about to say is that there's some people that think when you die, you don't exist no more. There's no existence. You don't. That's it. That's it.
Well, that is no afterlife.
There's no afterlife, and you over with. And there's some that think it is an afterlife, and you come back.
And there's some that think it is an afterlife, but you go somewhere else, like heaven.
You go somewhere else, like heaven.
Yeah. The idea ultimately is you pick a religion and you believe it. It's all about faith, really. It's whatever you believe. I think that's what matters. I think faith, and I'm using that sense applying to all religion. If you believe, like the Dalai Lama,
Right,
he has his own belief that he is reincarnated.
Right. But do you think you're reincarnated in outer space because there's other planets?
Are you saying the other? Not scientifically, we've not been able to find
it because we can. No, there is. They find some water. They find a planet that's way bigger than Earth. That's got everything that Earth, that we have here in this Earth, but
it's just
too far. We
can't get to. Hey guys, on that note, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate you. Send an email to lostlocation@gmail.com if you have any questions. Meko Onibaje, we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. That work for you, man. He said we can't reach it. What do you mean you can't reach it?
They're trying to build. I think they're trying to build.
He said you can't reach it.
They're trying to build a spacecraft for us to get there. They're trying.
Who's trying?
Okay, it's like this is like a light years away.
Oh, light years! Wow.
And if he says a light years, they can try and work with that. But if he says light years, but they say light years, that 30 something light years. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can do because the light year is 3 times 10 to the 8. That's the speed of light.
That's
meters per second.
Right.
In
impossible.
1 year.
And that's enough. That's impossible for the human body to take, because that speed can even destroy your whole.
Yeah, right.
Your
organism. Yeah.
Organisms can
so your consciousness.
Erupt.
Yeah.
They can.
You just lose consciousness. So what's the point if you can't even make it?
They can erupt in seconds.
That's
you
right.
know.
That's right.
So. Nobody want to put themselves in the monkey cannot make it. They put him in that spaceship. To protect your own immune system. Imagine when you get there, you be like, even though you make it, you won't be the same.
Yeah, right.